Hey, good morning, Dick. Before we get into it, I just wanted to just kind of go over a few items here real quick. Just to get everyone caught up. Fire acreage now at 11,192 acres. Are expanding primarily north, putting several communities on set status. Additionally, two other fires in northern Arizona broke out over the weekend. To add to the list, Arizona Public Service issued its emergency shutoff over the weekend for several communities to cut off power, but that has since been restored. And the Coconino National Forest announced you guys are moving to stage 2 fire restrictions starting tomorrow. Got out of the red flag warning from this weekend. That's the good news, but the bad news, no moisture in the forecast and winds will remain steady. So, against all that, I'll try once again. Good morning, Dick. How are you?
All right, doing well. Yeah, you summed it up pretty well there, but we also had that 11,912 acres was about 2,000 acres of that were from a strategic burnout we did yesterday to the west above the rim from Furno Cabin going to the west along Forest Road 539, and that's just to keep ahead of that fire that's still down in Red Rock Secret Mountain Wilderness. It's using all the available fuel and keeps moving west. So we just wanted to make a big catcher's mitt over there if it decides to make runs up towards us, because we don't want it hooking on the west flank and going to the north. We also have two other flanks on this fire that are active that obviously we're concerned about. That north edge where it ran up and ran into our fire line on 535 and 536 that we burned out yesterday, that's all holding and looking really good. And ironically, those 535 and 536 roads were the fire lines also for the 2014 slide fire. So this is kind of like Groundhog Day. We're back in same country, same road system, same trails that we're reopening. We reopened those contingency lines in Oak Creek Canyon. So it's familiar country now, and once it's on top, and out of those canyons, we can engage it pretty directly, which is a good thing. We brought in some air tankers yesterday to keep it in check, in addition to our helicopters. So, on top, we can engage this thing pretty good. But again, now it's in West Fork Oak Creek, and so that's another canyon situation that is equally as complex as the stuff in Red Rock Secret Mountain. So we're developing plans to actually corral it in there as well.
Well, so if it was personal growth that got Bill Murray out of Groundhog Day,
Yes.
is the monsoon going to be the only thing that's going to give us personal growth in this scenario, or
Yeah, so I think the monsoons is gonna check it in the bottom. On top, we're able to directly engage that, and then even if it does, get across our lines there has been so much work done north of the fire by the Coconino National Forest and Arizona Department of Forestry and Fire Management. They've worked together to do prescribed burning. That they didn't worry about jurisdictional boundaries. They were looking at the ground and doing prescribed burnings. They put a lot of fire on the ground in the last 5 years, in the fall primarily, to remove those fuels. So if it does get across that line, it's going into an area that's no more canyons, lots of roads, and had a lot of fuel treatment. So, you know, lots of proactive work there for just these kind of scenarios. People don't like smoke in the fall, but this is when it pays off, is to protect the community right now.
sorry, take a step back. What's the status of the fire in Oak Creek and West Fork?
I forgot that third flank. Yeah, so it's that southeastern portion of the fire. It still continues to back down into the wilderness. Um, and our concern there is it actually getting an alignment in a canyon and running to the east. They're keeping or then that would put it over into Oak Creek Canyon. That original line we put in, it's been 10 days now on the 19th. That's still holding, but it's just the fire down in the canyon that we can't directly engage with personnel. Um, Still could potentially get out and then squirt towards Oak Creek Canyon. Again, we're keeping that in check with aircraft, and that's the plan in there. They've got some contingencies in there that they're looking at for where we could engage in along some of the trail systems in there. So a lot of moving parts. Once again, three basic fronts on one fire is one front's complex enough. When you got three in here, and plus add the slope and how dry things are. At least we don't have red flag conditions anymore, and we don't have thunderstorms that can cause downdrafts. We would take the moisture, but we don't want those downdrafts. But the incident meteorologist saying long term, at least through the end of the week, no moisture in sight, but
Uh,
less winds.
uh, those free flanks of fire. Could you describe those real quick?
Okay, so we just talked about the southeast flank, so, and just the south part of the fire moving down into the wilderness. The western flank, where it's down in the wilderness, where it keeps moving to the west, and the activities we did there to strategically create a catcher's mitt of burned country to the west. And then, of course, the head fire going that is actually closest to Flagstaff and the communities there. So those are the three main areas of concern. The central part of the fire, it's gonna keep laterally spreading. That big finger that pushed out 2 days ago, that's about twice as wide as it was yesterday, because it just keeps laterally spreading. And it could potentially get runs coming out of West Fork again. Got a canyon, steep slopes, and we get the an alignment of a canyon, that those canyons and that run up and down the those little chutes that run up and down in West Fork. You get the right alignment on that. The alignment, I mean, it actually aligns with the winds. They go to the top of the canyon rather rapidly. They act basically like chimneys, to funnel fire to the top of the mountain.
Then any update on the cause of the fire?
No, they still haven't. I don't think they think they've got into investigate it yet, because we couldn't get our firefighters in there, so I don't think an investigator's been there. So still undetermined.
Okay. Then what's the smoke outlook for Sedona looking like?
Sedona, what's come back to this fire is diurnal uh, behavior. So diurnal is during the day, it heats up, and the air goes up slope. At night it cools and sinks down. So you'll probably start seeing smoke coming down into Sedona at night. You can also check on InsuWeb and Facebook, where we post our our air resource advisor posts his forecast for smoke as well.
Then the community meeting got moved back again.
Well, the community meeting is not, no, it's actually still tonight, but it's going to be a virtual one. We just felt it wasn't a good idea to disengage our leadership for 3 or 4 hours. We still definitely want to talk to the community, but they need to be doing it here. It's going to be a virtual meeting, but we still plan on getting into the Sedona area later in the week. So stay tuned for that.
And then with the outbreak of the Butte and Spring fires, has that drawn any personnel away from the pocket fire?
No, it hasn't. But what is happened is we've gone to preparedness level 4 nationwide. That means our resources are getting thinly stretched. So competition for resources, as you know, there's fires all over the West. The Cottonwood fire in Utah, multiple fires in Colorado. As a matter of fact, Southwest area Complex Incident Management Team 4 just got called to a fire near Leadville. So there's just a lot of fires, and so our resources are starting to get stretched.
And then the Cook Union National Forest is moving to stage 2 fire restrictions tomorrow, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, that's won't have campgrounds, no more fires, changes the way our uh, any operations that are under contract on the forest that actually um, could cause a fire are going to what is called a hoot owl situation, which is they can only work from I believe it's 8 at night till 9 in the morning. They can only work at night. So if any of our uh, fuels reduction projects that we have that are removing uh, timber, those actually go to hoot owl. So yeah, it's just definitely getting drier, and that warranted that move.
Yeah. Dick, anything else I should have asked or you want to mention at this time with regards to the fire?
Yeah, this is not. It's related more to people's preparedness at their houses. It's this fire could could affect them, but any fire that starts, like you said, we had the Butte and the Spring Fire. The Spring Fire was actually in a community started on private land. That could happen anywhere around northern Arizona. So, if you've got needles on your and leaves on your roof, get them off the roof, get them out of your gutters, move that vegetation away from your home, because fires don't burn down from flaming fronts. They burn down from spots coming from the fire, much like this fire grew due to copious spotting. Same thing. If an ember falls on your house that and you have pine needles, it's going to catch. So because our probability of ignition today is 80 to 90%. So 80 to 90% of those that land will start fires. So be diligent and clean around your homes at least 30 feet if you can.
Dick, Godspeed.
All right. Take care, my friend.
All right, thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye.